Hello and welcome to the Corner 3 NBA show. My name is Alex.
My name's Ross.
My name is Zach.
And we are back and at it. Second half of the season now. We're past the halfway mark. AllStar starters just came out recently. For the East, we've got DeRozan, Irving, Giannis, Greek Freak, LeBron the King, and Jimmy Buckets. For the West, we've got Kawhi, Curry, KD, AD, and Mr. Beard himself, James Harden. Let's go first about snubs from the starting lineups because we all tweeted out our picks.
What was our accuracy on these? I only missed one.
Oh, I did it as far as like what I thought. I didn't do it like from fans because fans I would have said these.
Well, I didn't have DeRozan. I had Lowry in that spot. I didn't have Irving either. I can't
what did I say actually?
I can't remember who I had starting.
I only got one wrong, and that was I had Westbrook over Curry.
Yeah, I think everybody
all of us did.
In the known universe had Westbrook over
Curry.
Curry.
I think someone tweeted out the results. I think
it was a tie.
The fans were the only people who voted Curry number 1, and the media and the players voted Curry 3.
So then he tied, and then the tiebreak goes to the fans. So that's why Curry got put over Westbrook. I mean, Westbrook came off the bench last year. It doesn't really matter who cares about starters or not, but the dude is averaging triple-double. I cannot believe he's not a starter.
So I had 3 different players as far as the actually I had 4 different players. I had 4 different players for the East starters.
Yeah.
My personal selections. I had Isaiah Thomas because
I did too.
The guy's averaging the second most points in the NBA, and he is like 5'3".
Mm-hmm.
He is ridiculous. He's playing out of his mind. You got Kyle Lowry, who's, if anyone watches the Raptors because they're never on TV, he is balling too. I got DeRozan because he's playing at an extremely high level, probably the best year of his NBA career thus far. And then I've got Joel Embiid because
Nice.
if you heard like he has like a plus minus of like plus 10 on
he plays 20 something minutes a night.
I mean he's absolutely phenomenal. So I mean I don't think there's another big outplaying him right now in the East.
Yeah, I feel like the West starters are pretty much what we had predicted besides the Westbrook issue. The East starters are a little goofy, but the East total team I feel like it's easier to predict for all of us once we get there.
Yeah. Did you guys have any other East starters? I mean,
no, I had Lowry
Isaiah
and Thomas. I don't see how Butler is going to make it. I didn't have him as a starter yet. I can't remember who my 5th was. It was a big. I think I may have been Embiid as well. I can't remember looking back.
No reason not to. That guy is awesome.
He's like the new Shaq. Like you see him, he came out and did, what was it, the Undertaker or something?
Spit on everything.
It's so cool.
That's great. So the reserves are announced the 26th. Was that Thursday?
Yeah, we'll do East first, and we'll do West starter snubs, and we'll do West.
Do you want someone just read there, and then we'll argue over if there's one that's different?
You go first.
Okay. Well, my East, the 7 I have in the East is maybe out of order. I'm putting PG.
Yep.
Lowry, Embiid, Isaiah Thomas. We already talked about those ones. John Wall, Kemba, and Kevin Love.
Gotcha.
I had 3 written down as possible snubs if you had to argue anyone. Melo's not in there.
No.
They're terrible. The team is Wade, who I despise. They already got Butler. They're happy. The one that's I think is interesting, Millsap. The Hawks are 4th. There's not a Hawk on the All-Star team if this goes how I just said, which I don't know. Do you think Millsap should make it or any Hawk should make it?
I mean, Millsap's playing at a really high level, and when they won the most games at the halfway point 2 years ago in the East, they put 4 into the team just because of how good they were, including Jeff Teague.
There's only going to be 3 Cavaliers if that goes.
Well, I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Love is playing at a really high level. I mean, he really is. People aren't giving him the credit probably deserves for this year thus far. But I have the same players as you did, actually. I don't think they're real. I think it's actually amazing. There's just like 12 guys.
The East is pretty. I mean, thankfully, all those guys retired. Kobe and Dirk's hurt, and who am I missing? A bunch of guys are hurt or retired. So it opened up spots for all these guys who deserve it this year. I love it.
The only person I think, I don't know if you mentioned him or not, I could have skipped it, but the only person I can argue that I think should be in over somebody is I think I would rather have Porzingis in over Kemba Walker.
Yeah,
Ooh,
really?
No, you have not seen enough Kemba this year.
I was at the game last year. I saw Kemba Walker in person.
Porzingis has been hurt the last couple weeks, but if the Knicks should go, I think Porzingis should go.
There's hardly any bigs anymore going.
That's the problem. I hate that new front court, back court.
So all you have basically is you got Embiid in there, and then
Love is your next big.
And then Yeah, so I think if you evened it out and gave another big, I would have Porzingis in there over Kemba Walker.
I can see that.
That's not a diss. I mean, if you're even in the mention the All-Star thing, then you're playing great.
I feel
this
for
year.
Kemba because last year he should have made it, and he's so close. This year it's going to happen again. He's that wild card guy where if somebody does change their mind, he will be the one who's probably going to get the boot. But Porzingis would be interesting. I mean, it'd be cool to have him there. I think he will get there, obviously, eventually. I don't know if it's going to be this year in the East.
All right, let's go over
Gonna move
West
to the West?
snubs.
This
So-
is a lot more interesting. here
Again,
in
the
the
West starters are. We'll go over West snubs first, but it's Kawhi, Curry, KD, Anthony Davis, and Harden. So I had all of those except obviously I didn't have Curry. I mean, that's the
As a
biggest
starter,
thing here.
yeah.
I mean, that's why I was listening. Was it Zach Lowe did the Jeff Van Gundy podcast where he talks about.
I wouldn't go to the AllStar game if it was in my backyard.
Well, also the fact it's like, why did the fans have a vote in this? It doesn't make sense. I mean, I know it engages fans, but
Keeps us entertained.
but also, I mean, they don't vote for so many other things like first team All NBA,
Yeah, we talked about this
defensive
last
player,
time, yeah.
which is a huge salary incentive for these players, bonus incentive. So I just don't think it belongs in there. And to say Westbrook doesn't belong as a starter in the All-Star game is pretty stupid.
Agreed.
I mean, you don't have to go into it really that far. But let's go. Oh, go ahead.
You want to go through yours?
Well, I was gonna let you guys go through. Like I said, I was pretty much with you, except for Westbrook and over Curry. So, as far as guys I think should be in there, obviously Westbrook will be in there. I'd love to see Mike Conley in there. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
I think it is.
There are two injuries, guys who I put in but won't make it because they're hurt, and I think Conley will be one of the replacements for that.
Hayward's definitely making it now.
Really?
Hayward's definitely making
I
it.
put Gobert instead of Hayward.
Gobert
Jazz
instead
has
of
to go.
Hayward?
I love big guys. I'm a little biased.
Gobert instead
That's
of
what she
Hayward.
Oof.
He probably
That is
can't
what
like
shit
shoot
tells you.
with his eyes.
Just kidding.
All right. Anyways, no, I've got. All right. So my 7.
Go ahead.
I've got McCollum, Conley, Hayward,
CJ was one of my swing guys. Interesting.
swing guys.
Keep going.
Clay, Draymond. Where am I looking here? Gasol. How am I doing? How many is that?
You're missing like Cousins or
Cousins. Who were the rest of yours?
I got Westbrook, CP3, but CP3 won't make it because he's hurt.
Westbrook, of course.
So I'm putting
CP3 will
Conley
make
in
it,
his
yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Cousins, Gasol, Draymond, Dame.
Dame.
He may be the wild card guy to
Yeah.
me.
Was
Dame.
he left out of something? Was it last year?
Last
Last
year he
year.
wasn't an all-star. He got
Yeah.
pretty pissed.
And Blake, also I had him, but he'll be out because of injury. So that spot I either had Clay, CJ,
Dame will make
Hayward.
it. CJ won't.
There's just so many in the swing spot for the West. So I had Clay, CJ, DeAndre, and Gordon Hayward are all my. I don't know. They should. One of them has to.
Conley and Hayward should make it. It's so stupid if they don't. I mean, it really
A Jazz
is.
player has to make it.
I mean,
and
Gordon's playing it. Just
Conley should make it
ridiculous
just for
high
coming back in 2 weeks from a broken back. The guy is monster.
level. Yeah, he's a beast. We'll talk about Zach and I went to some NBA games around the country here, so we'll talk about those a little bit later. But yeah, I got the same thing there.
Yeah. So the West is a lot more moving pieces.
Yeah, and it always has been too because
a lot more
I was
talent out
reading an
there.
article too. But I mean, so much of the really high talent is located in like the top 3-4 teams that you have like 2 or 3 players from the Warriors or 4 players from the Warriors, and you've got 2 players from maybe like the Spurs and the Rockets. So I mean, it's harder for like the teams who are still like really good to get an all-star in.
It's weird to look at the standings. We picked 1 through 7 a player from the team one of those teams in the West, but 1 Trailblazer, 1 Pelican, 1 King,
Yeah.
and yet no Nugget. And right now they're in the 8th spot.
Because the Nuggets are like, they all play 15
yeah, they don't
guys.
have one guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they may
It's weird.
eventually.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is a floater out there, and I know the answer already is no, but what are the chances, kind of like a Kobe situation, even though he's not playing that great this year, what are the chances of a Nowitzki gets in?
No, because now it's the coaches. The only way he could get voted in is from fans. So like the coaches and media won't vote him in. I think it's just coaches. For like the rest of the players, it's just coaches, right? Like the rest of the roster.
Yeah, now it's the coach's
Yeah. So
decision.
no,
Okay.
it only happened if like the fans voted him. So like next year, if he announces he's going to retire before the season,
See, I didn't know if
he'll
he
get
was
it.
retiring. There was talk earlier this year. He was.
I think he's going to
undecided.
come back at least one more year.
One more year.
He's crazy though. I mean, for playing that long, I mean, I guess he still can, but the Mavs are a mess
Yeah.
by themselves. So it's a couple other things here that we kind of mentioned in our Pacers show earlier. The Wizards assistant leaning out in the court. Was that a Wizards assistant or a Hawks assistant?
I thought it was a Wizards assistant during the Knicks game.
Oh yeah, it was a Wizards assistant leaning into Courtney Lee's ear, and also he was just on the court. Like he was as much on the court as Courtney Lee was. That's a little ridiculous. Did he get fined?
I think he did.
Hopefully.
And then
that was ridiculous.
Yeah. Then they sent out the memo to all coaches. You have to stay inside your little thing.
Well, I mean, it's like you get suspended one game every time a player comes off the court if there's like a scuffle or anything. But you have like Joel Embiid and Dwayne Wade and LeBron like coming from the bench all the way to like the basket if there's like a crazy dunk or block, you know what I mean? Like you have them like, celebrating and rah and like, okay, keep them on that side of the court if you're going to like suspend someone if like their dude's about to get punched out. Like I don't understand that. Like, you say you're putting the team first and players first, but like if a dude's about to get hit in the face, you should be able to go out there and help. I don't know. I don't understand it.
They just don't want another mouse in the palace. They're just trying to fudge the rules a little bit.
And then Indiana, the All-Star game. Ross.
Oh, yeah. So during the London game, Commissioner Adam Silver was at that game in London, talked with a bunch of heads of the Pacers organization, actually got an during the game interview with Chris and Quinn, and they asked him about the All-Star game. He says, bids are going out for 2020 and 2021 All-Star games. Good chance the Pacers will put a bid in, and he'd love to see the All-Star game come to Indianapolis. Yeah. Made us all excited. He goes, and we're even exploring things like having it in a larger stadium, Lucas Oil. Which would be interesting. Lucas already has NCAA games sometimes.
Final Four.
It's just nice to hear the Pacers are finally caring and going to put a bid in.
I can't see Lucas Oil being filled up for an All-Star game though.
I mean, it's still
it has to be
packed.
like a half
that's the championship game.
You go from 18,000 to what does Lucas hold? 60?
64.
I mean, they're not going to do it all the way because
that's what I'm saying. It has to be segmented off because there's no way you're going to get.
But still double the seats, 40,000 people.
Trust me. I mean, like, you got probably 25,000 people from out of town, at least that amount come in just to be in the area. And then, I mean, tickets would probably be pretty cheap, too, because there's so many seats. I don't know. I mean, the Final Four, you wouldn't even think twice. But, I mean, with an NBA game like that, and it's an all-star weekend, so you've got so many different things. I'd be curious. I bet they put the dunk stuff all at Bankers Life. I think that's what they do already. When they have it at a big arena, they put most of the slam dunk competition and the 3-point shootout at Bankers Life just to fill that up and make it kind of a cooler. All right, let's take a look at the standings quickly in the Eastern Conference. Really not much movement other than I think the top four have really solidified themselves. You've got obviously the Cavs, the Raptors, the Celtics, and the Hawks. Hawks, for a second there, looked like they were going to throw the season away and try and do a quick rebuild, but really they're playing well with this new roster, really focused around Millsap. Any thoughts on the top four in the East? Because the rest of the East, it changes daily.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Hawks are where they are because I thought they were blowing their team up, trading everybody away, and then they decided not to, but they still look like they're contenders, not for a championship, but at least in the East. I'm really surprised about the Wizards. At the beginning of the season, they were
bad, really bad.
Dumpster fire, and they're all the way up in 5th and winning, looking good again.
Yeah, they're 7-3 in their last 10, playing really well. Hawks 8-2 in their last 10. So the East is the caliber of the East. The play, even the bad teams aren't that bad, really. I mean, the Bucks are playing
Pacers
better.
lose to them all the time.
76ers, of course, coming out of nowhere. What are they in their last? They're 7-3 in their last 10. So I mean,
will they make the playoffs?
No, they won't make the playoffs. But it's still fun to see the East, trending in the right direction.
Process, man.
Miami and Brooklyn, obviously. The rest of the East, they've got pieces that in the future will make the East competitive for sure.
Yeah, it's exciting to see. I especially want the Celtics to do good. They have all the right pieces. I think they still need one more piece, which they have plenty of assets to get that. I think that if there is a team in the East that has what it takes to compete, and they know that one more piece can probably push them, to be competitive against the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals, I think it's the Celtics, and I think they're going to do something before the deadline to get them to that point.
They have too many draft picks. They need to do something with them.
I don't think they need like a top 10 player. I think they just need another really good not a complimentary player, but just a really, really good player. I don't think they need to go out and get Boogie or get out Blake Griffin. I just think they need a solid player. I don't know who that is, but Isaiah Thomas is much better than everyone thinks he is. I mean, he's a top 15 player right now. I mean, he is really, really, really good.
Yeah. Plus, you have Brad Stevens as the coach. After seeing him in person last week, that's the team I think, not the Raptors, but the Celtics that would be a good series against the Cavs.
I think the Raptors actually. I think if they need one move. They need another wing player. No, I'm sorry. They need a power forward is what they need, because Patrick Patterson is injured, and when he's injured, they are terrible. So if they could get. I mean, if we could throw, I guess we can't throw anyone.
The problem is, but who can they give up to get anybody without giving up an asset? It's not like they're asset heavy like the Celtics, though. That's their issue.
Well, throw out Norman Powell, see what you can get for him. I know,
people want him.
People want him. He's valuable, even though because he's got a really low deal there. So I don't know. Throw something at him.
Yeah.
Through the Raptors. Looking at the West. Top 7 are really solidified themselves. Big drop off from the Grizzlies to the Nuggets. Grizzlies are kind of not playing well of late. 4 and 6 in the last 10. But I think other than maybe the Clippers falling now, especially with CP3 and Blake out, I think this 7 is really solidified. I think the Rockets are the second best team in the West, mainly because I think the Rockets give the Warriors a bigger test than the Spurs do, just because
match them point for point.
Honestly, I mean, Eric Gordon is playing at a really high level. Ryan Anderson is playing at a really high level.
The injury reserve of the Pelicans is healthy and they're playing well.
Yeah, I mean, Ariza is like a top 5 in steals. I mean, they've got some interesting pieces there. I think if they could get a piece from like Denver, if they could get like Fareed from Denver, man, they could be good. I mean, they could beat the Warriors with Fareed.
They kind of have a Fareed type guy with Montrezl Harrell. He's kind of a athletic.
Yeah, but I'd take Fareed any day over Harrell. I mean, especially this year. If they could trade Harrell for Fareed, they'd do it. I bet you. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Any thoughts on the West standings, though? I mean, we talked about the Timberwolves at length about how we were underwhelmed by them. We hope to have a Timberwolves blogger on here soon.
I'd love to see the Jazz move up a little bit more. Yeah, maybe
I think they could get.
I think they will. The Clippers don't have anybody now.
If George Hill can stay healthy, obviously Gobert and Hayward are playing at a high level. Hill can stay healthy. I can see them moving up. That 8th spot, it's wide open.
Who's going to get it? Yeah.
Anybody in that, all the way down. They're only
even the Lakers.
Yeah,
even the Lakers.
I mean, it's not like it's desirable, but if you're a young team trying to build momentum for the next season, that's a good spot for you. But if you're a team trying to you want to get some assets or a good draft pick, you're wasting your time because you're just going to be playing the Warriors in the first round.
Kings would love to have it in the new stadium. Timberwolves love to have it for experience for other young guys.
If Denver gets it, though, think about this. They're kind of like a Boston from like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like tons of assets, no real like
a lot of nice pieces.
The roster could be like complete turnover in 2 years. But if Denver, gets that 8th seed and plays the Warriors, they get swept. But even if they put up a little bit of a fight in any of those games, if I'm a free agent this year and next year and I'm looking at places to go and I kind of want to like build my
places
brand up,
on the cusp,
yeah. If I look at Denver, I mean, they got some really interesting pieces.
You got a good coach. They got nice pieces
to build up. That would be interesting.
Flipped it in.
That's also true. Colorado has some lax laws on some.
Anyways, moving on from that. My goodness.
TNT predictions.
Stupid predictions.
I'm still in first place.
As of now, Zach has a 3-game lead on the others in the group here. But coming up this Thursday, we have Dallas playing in Oklahoma City. What do we think?
Yeah.
Oklahoma City by like 30.
I think we're all gonna have the same picks on this week.
Dang it! I need to make some ground up.
We need to add the player games too, because now starting on TNT they have the Monday and Thursday games.
Okay.
For at least the next 3 or 4 weeks, they're experimenting, because I know ESPN during the college football championship has like the 4 different broadcasts, and now different channels are trying to replicate that. I know Simmons brings it up, but he says at some point, we're probably looking at. You can listen to who you want to listen to commentate about the game. Like you can listen to your home broadcast. Be interesting.
It would be interesting. I'll look them up for this week. we'll put him in
Yeah.
there. Next after that, Lakers are in Utah. We're all in agreement. It's going to be Jazz.
Yeah, Utah's
If everybody's healthy, Utah's got too much firepower.
Yeah.
Jazz.
Then there's Bill. Like they're big bodies.
Well, that
across
was
the
an
board.
easy prediction for the
you
week.
can make up ground on the other predictions we had. So
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
went for it.
Listen
If
to our
the
Pacers show if you're a
don't
Pacers
get
fan.
a 5-game winning streak, yeah, we'll make up some ground. We did forget to mention the one other fan question that we had
Oh yeah.
for the NBA
Fan
topic.
question, yes. We received a fan question from Jake Masters 29. So shout out to
Our
Jake
only Pistons fan who
Yes,
listens to our
Pistons fan
show.
from
Thank you
Dirty
very
D.
much.
Wait, there are Pistons fans?
There's a couple.
there. Yeah,
Are you sure?
There's
he's
a couple people
Pistons
live
fan.
in there.
There are Detroit Pistons fans.
Left over from 04.
That's amazing.
I know. Don't tell him. that.
Gosh, like endangered species.
He tweeted at us, "For how long do you think the Cavs' struggles will continue, and where is their new team? Will there be a new team making a legit push for the number
Should we all
one
answer at the
seed?"
same time?
Well, actually, okay. First of all, I don't think that the Cavs are hurting right now. I mean, they have
5
injured
and 5
players.
in the last
Yeah,
10.
J.R. Smith obviously is dealing with some family stuff and an injury.
Corver's new.
Corver's new. I mean, it's who cares? They don't even care about the 1 seed for like they don't care. I mean, they just want to get to the East playoffs without having LeBron or Love or Irving or Thompson injured.
Pretty much. I agree with that wholeheartedly. They just want to get to the playoffs.
But I think there's a big chance that Boston, if they continue to play at the level they are, or if Toronto figures it out and gets a power forward, I think there's definitely a chance that they could bump them out. I mean, think about the Pacers that I think it was 2013, 2014. I mean, the whole year we were number 1, then they bumped us out, and then they got back in it, and then in the end the Pacers finished in the 1 seed. Doesn't matter. I mean,
No.
when LeBron doesn't care.
Not for the Cavs.
No, it's not that big of a deal.
So no, the answer to that question would be no.
No, Jake Masters.
But thank you for sending it in.
Yeah,
If you want to become a
appreciate it.
Pacers fan, just let us know. We
Well-
know it's tough out there in the Palace of Hills of Auburn,
not
whatever
for long.
it's called.
Not for long. It's getting ready to go downtown.
Speaking of,
Yeah, it won't help.
Well, yeah. Speaking of arenas, both of you two were hitting the road this last week. Was it
Yeah.
last week? You were.
Mhm.
I don't know who wants to go first. Memphis or Boston? Which was?
Boston comes first.
Share
in
me
the
your
All-Star
thoughts.
B.
yeah, we could go today. Last week I was in Boston, but I decided to go to the Celtics versus Hornets game. I went by myself. People from work didn't want to go,
Losers.
which worked out because I was able to get a steal on StubHub.
Yeah. How were you able to get behind the bench like that?
'Cause,
I
like,
was row one.
If there's one seat alone, yeah, it's gonna be.
So if you're by
like,
yourself, you can get a cheaper ticket. So
Company
I
dime?
got no, it's my dime. I got row one behind the Hornets bench. I was able to talk to a couple players. I talked to Brian Roberts, backup point guard for the Hornets.
Yep.
I didn't try to talk to Roy Hibbert because
who would want to talk to Roy Hibbert?
I got to be honest. I think Roy Hibbert has like mental trouble sometimes on the bench. I have videos of it. Literally Roy Hibbert, the entire game is doing this. He's going like this, and he's like, he's doing.
Zach
this
is
at the bench,
rocking and holding his head.
He's like he's just. I mean, he's a great cheerleader. He was screaming the whole game and stuff, but. Man, he
play a minute?
He didn't. He doesn't play no. So I mean, you can tell he's frustrated. Compared to what you saw in Indiana, where he was a starter, and now he's on the end of a bench.
a star there for a season or two.
Yeah. But it was an experience sitting behind Big Roy. But it's crazy when you go to these games. First of all, Boston fans were awesome. It's a great place to watch a game at the TD Garden. They're always pretty much sold out. Fans are super into it, and they're very knowledgeable. I talked to guys pretty much the whole game that were season ticket holders, and they could rant off anything. And they said if Larry Bird ever came back, he wouldn't be able to walk in the building. They would just be swarming him with love.
Yeah.
And compared to you go to Pacers game, you go up next to him, get your autograph. But it was a great experience. It was great to see. A lot of guys complain when you watch the game. It looks like guys aren't trying, but when you sit that close, you realize how big these guys are and how fast they are. It's a lot more physical than you realize when you're that up close.
Game,
oh
yeah.
man, so it was great. It was a great experience. So shout out to Boston and their fans. It was a good night.
Any players impressed you on the floor, either team?
Isaiah Thomas, he makes Kemba Walker look big. Like he's so small,
Yeah.
and the way he can
How
score
tall
like
is he?
crazy.
I'm gonna look
He's
it up.
5'9".
He is not 5'9". He is like 5'7", maybe.
Maybe he is for his size.
He's
He
short.
is, he is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, just the Batum is pretty athletic. Seeing him
It
in
says
person.
5'9".
Yeah. Well,
shoes
yeah,
on.
Yeah, shoes on, and also not 5'9".
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So great experience, and then I guess you were Memphis versus.
I was at Memphis versus the Bulls on Martin Luther King night. Well, actually, it was Sunday, the day before MLK Day. It was a really fun game. was actually a great game. Doug McDermott actually was the only reason that the Bulls were in the game. He had 31, and he kind of kept them in the game just enough until the fourth quarter when Jimmy Butler took over. But FedEx Forum is a cool arena. Kind of reminds me of Banker's Life in a lot of ways, kind of like an older Banker's Life. Trying to think. Tony Allen, I was right behind the Grizzlies bench. Tony Allen is a character. I mean, he just, looking in the stands. I don't know what he's looking at. Zach Randolph has his kids right behind the scores table, row one. He's always, waving and blowing kisses to his daughters in between plays. It's really cute. Chandler Parsons looks lost. Just like on the court, he looks lost. He doesn't know what he's doing. Can't find his fit.
Memphis.
I mean, they played James Ennis over him in crunch time, so that tells you, where Fitz is with him. But Conley is a beast. Gasol is a beast. Those guys are awesome to watch. But just some interesting thoughts about the game itself, or the arena. Banker's Life, pretty tight security as far as, getting down, passing. The fourth row, you have to have the light-bound pass to get past there. But I'm telling you, no one, after I scanned my ticket, no one looked at my ticket the rest of the time. I walked right down to, the third row, and then at halftime, I walked back to, their equivalent of the light-bound, or, go into a tunnel to a restaurant. I walked right into the restaurant. No one looked at my ticket once. The whole game. It was weird. It was like, I guess you're here, whatever. It was weird.
We in Memphis.
What was Boston like? They pretty tight about security and
Boston
where you can go?
Yeah, Boston, they have there's an usher at the top, and kind of like at Banker's Life, there's an usher at the bottom.
Yeah.
And they'll double check your ticket the whole time. When you do go to the restaurant, though, there's a person, there's a roped off section, and he is watching you the whole time. So he saw me get up, so he knew I was already sitting there. So he didn't have to look at my ticket or nothing. But yeah, there's a usher at every corner at TD.
Yeah, Memphis, it was walk where you want. Also, shout out to Chandler Parsons for having his Chandler Parsons yoga mat giveaway for the first 3,000 fans. I tweeted from
Did you get one?
No, that was for the next game.
Oh.
But I tweeted from the Corner 3 Show account. I said that pretty much sums up his time in Memphis already.
Wow.
Yoga mat.
Anyways, moving on here. We've got some college talk quickly. The new rankings came out. I know Butler's 11th. IU's not ranked. But IU's struggling as of late. Can't find the groove. And now OG is out for the season. Ross, you had your kid, but are you happy?
Am I happy about IU's performance this year?
Yeah.
The only bright spot I see in that is if OG's out for the year, I feel like he's more likely to come back next year, because right now he's projected as a second round. I was reading some things about him.
He's
late
fallen.
first round.
Late first round, maybe in a second round, which I think is nuts.
He was top 10 before the season started.
Yeah.
Top 5 on
And
some.
he needs to improve that offensive game.
Yeah.
So that's the only bright spot I can see in all that.
Tight wins versus Penn State
Yeah,
at Penn State.
they're winning, and they hit the buzzer beater against
Yeah.
Penn State from Blackman. They beat Michigan State, but I've been following them this year.
Michigan State's been bad.
Are they garbage this year?
It's like the football team.
They're not garbage, but
They're
they're
just down.
Yeah, they're
just
down.
having a
It's
down
not
year.
your regular
So,
year.
yeah, IU's winning, but they're beating Rutgers.
Whoa, Ross.
Penn State, Michigan State.
Popular
Sorry.
guy over here.
That's-
what do you have, a newborn?
That's Everett
The way he
saying, hey,
does.
Dad, it's time to come home. Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to Butler. They're 11th now in the country. They took a loss versus Creighton at home, but they beat their cross-state rival in Xavier. They beat Marquette and then won at DePaul the other day in a game that they should have lost. They were down 25-5 at one point.
Well, these last two games, they've been down by 20 plus, haven't they?
Yeah, it's weird. They've been tinkering with their lineup all season, and we'll have to have Jimmy LaFakis on, a big-time Butler fan. But haven't started Keelan Martin and Tyler Wideman in games. Keelan is their leading scorer with 16 and 5, I think, and then Tyler started every game. Started every game last year and started every game this year up to a point. So they're just trying to find the right lineup, even though they're 11th in the country. But Kamar Baldwin, you guys, he had 21 in the second half alone against Xavier.
When are you going to get us tickets? We can all go to a courtside game.
Yeah.
Come on.
Anyways, Kamar Baldwin is the real thing. He might be. I think he's going to be an NBA player. He is that good. I've never seen a freshman take over a program that's not like a blue blood, if you know what I mean. So I've never seen like at Duke, this is expected, or Kentucky, this is expected, but not at Butler. Not at Butler. It's pretty cool to watch.
Nice. It's always good. We talk about it each week. Always good when Indiana schools are good.
Yeah.
The last school then was Purdue. Had an okay week. They're second in the Big Ten right now. Lost to Iowa, win against Illinois and Penn State. The one thing I want to talk about Purdue is I don't know if you guys got to see any of Caleb Swanigan. He is a monster, but I was hearing on the radio, also projected as a second-round pick. The guy's a 2020 machine. He's like a light Boogie Cousins, Tim Duncan-ish, Draymond. How is this a second-round pick player? I mean, he doesn't have the athleticism, but...
I feel like when they do these early projections, they're looking at like upside, flashy, athletic guys. Who's a 19-year-old kid that's going to come up from Kentucky or North Carolina and be a top 5 pick. I don't think that's kind of like a Draymond Green. They overlook the guys that were just solid in college. They had their fundamentals down. They did what they had to do, and they never let you down. So it's just I feel like sometimes these scouts are just all about upside, athleticism, and things like that. But if he keeps playing like that, he will probably pop in the late first round.
I would expect him to. He'd be like the cornerstone of your franchise, a guy you can always rely to get you the rebounds and double machine.
Top 20 pick this year. I think he'll be a top 20 pick. I think he'll test really well in all of those draft combines, and when you see him up in person, I mean, he's really good with his footwork. I played with him in high school. Really good with his footwork. Great shooter. He's starting to show that now. I mean, he can play.
What makes or breaks you is the NCAA tournament. If you show up in the tournament,
that's true.
And go against guys from different schools, and you're on a national television spotlight, that's what really makes guys. I mean, Dwayne Wade had a reputation, but when he got to the tournament, that's when he built.
Gordon Hayward, another great example.
Steph Curry, all those guys made their name during the NCAA tournament.
Gordon Hayward, I think, was like a fringe first-round pick going into the sophomore season because he had a great freshman year. But, I mean, that Final Four national championship
almost
run.
sinking that shot. Yeah, so Purdue fans who are listening to the show, send us some tweets. Let us know where we're missing, what we need to talk about. I know Justin, one of our listeners, was at the Penn State game with his daughter. It's good to see the win there for them.
So, corner 3 for this week. As we all know, next year Nike's taking over for Adidas. And it got us thinking for these jerseys coming up. What are the worst jerseys in the NBA, or what needs updating?
Yeah, because the rumor is with Nike taking over, a lot of teams are going to look to change, update their look.
Just like the Pacers. Yeah. Well, obviously, I think we all agree that the Pacers aren't one of the worst jerseys.
So it's really our corner 2 for the week.
I mean, boring.
So boring.
Right? I like Indiana.
Ross showed us a picture of the Pacers jerseys because we don't watch the
just in
Pacers.
case you don't know.
But, so obviously we all think the Pacers, but I did 5 teams for the worst jerseys.
5? Oh.
I got 4. So
you got 4? Okay, go ahead.
My 5 teams, I can't stand their jerseys. Pelicans.
Pretty bad.
Thunder.
I had the Thunder. Thunder, you could do so much with that, and they just Oklahoma City. Do something.
Same one since they got there.
The Nets. I don't like the Nets.
I have a theory on the Nets.
The black and white Brooklyn Nets.
I have a theory, though. Go ahead.
All right. The Mavs. I don't like the Mavs jerseys. Theirs has been around pretty much the same length of time as the Pacers.
Yeah, they've been tinkering with that Skyline one.
And the Magic. Good. I don't like the updated. I don't like the mix of the modern with the retro.
Oh, I love
stripes.
the pinstripes.
Pinstripes are
best. I love the pinstripes.
I like the retros, but I don't like the modern ones. So
I'm
those
glad,
are my 5.
I'm glad leaving Adidas to Nike means no more sleeves. Thank God. I hate the sleeves jerseys. The only one I mentioned, or you didn't mention, was I hate Clippers. The Clippers' new logo and
Which
jersey.
One? Are you talking about the red one with like the C on the side, or the one?
No, the cursive is nice. These little with the ball.
Those so bad.
Those
it's
ones,
dumb.
Yeah.
I don't. LAC all in one big block. Oof.
They look like a jersey you wear like in the summer league.
Like a D-League jersey or a summer league jersey. It's stupid. But yeah, Oklahoma City is the one that really stands out to me. I think you could do so much with Thunder.
Generic ever since they were introduced.
It's just
like
colors in the name.
team.
Yeah. Also, did you see Timberwolves? I think Timberwolves could use an update. I remember the '90s with the cool collar.
They do. Yeah, that was one of the ones
they could update the Timberwolves. So
I had the same ones as you guys, but my theory on the Nets is that if the Nets were really good and really fun, then the whole black and white theme, like really simplistic theme, would be so much cooler. But the fact that they are just like awful makes it like, could you guys like at least make your jerseys fun? But like if they were like a really fun team, like young and run and gun,
black and white would be
black
fun.
And white. Like, we're Brooklyn. We don't need anything else. All we need is like Brooklyn across our jerseys. That would be cool. But since they're so bad, it's just like
you need another color. You need something.
You need something like please,
yellow. I don't know. Put something in there. It's really depressing.
Do something for me.
I wonder has Nike said they're not going to do any sleeves?
That was the rumor because that's an Adidas thing.
I hope so because they're terrible.
Yeah, I would love to see.
I mean, they're always
get rid of
money,
sleeves.
so
Yeah, I don't know.
Be
We'll
the
see what happens.
long
Magic
sleeve jerseys.
Magic sleeve jerseys are gross.
I love
Cavs.
to see a Pacers redo, and I really hope it happens. And if it
Last
doesn't happen,
time the
I'll be really
Pacers redid the jerseys was when Reggie retired in, what was that, 04 or 05?
Post
Because it was a
brawl,
new,
yeah.
it was trying to
Post
change
brawl,
the
yeah.
guard, but that's been now 13, 14 years.
Yeah, I mean Zarunas Jasikevičius. What was his name?
Jasikevičius.
He wore
Come
the
on,
same
man.
type jersey as Paul George does
Google
today.
Pacers new jerseys. So many fans have. I was gonna tweet
I wanna
some, but
see some.
there are a
You're
ton
right.
out there. There's some that have combined like the old ABA where it goes swoosh down and then it does the FloJo. There's a lot of just jumbled messes of ideas.
I could look
I'd
at some.
love just to take an old school back, like do something with the FloJo style,
They
just
need to do
that horizontal.
a
or,
fan pick. Like Nike creates top 3. The fans pick which ones they want.
Yes,
That'd be cool.
yes.
At least, yeah, if Nike creates them,
Maybe
I'm fine with
that's
that.
why we couldn't get the jerseys for the Decade Nights, because they're in the process of getting new. I don't know. I'm trying to find an
He's
answer.
just coming up with anything.
Yeah, you're just kind of like conspiracy theorist over here.
Next time we should do jerseys we actually do like in the NBA.
That could work. Different corner 3.
I love it. Like the Atlanta.
You like the
Because
neon?
I
You like the neon?
Atlanta, and when I was doing research for this, Atlanta came up like worse than like 3 websites. People hate it. I'm like, I like the new
The
ones.
neon's kind of fun. It's new.
With the textured background and everything.
Yeah.
I like the Jazz.
Yeah, the green and the yellow and the
I
Jazz
like
looks
the
pretty
Jazz.
slick. A lot of teams are just
I love Portland. I love Rip City.
I did.
I love the red.
the
oh yeah.
diagonal stripe.
Oh, I forgot. I think Miami's jerseys are super lame.
The black.
I can't
Did you
believe,
see the one
I
with
just said super lame.
You're super lame.
But I guess if I'm gonna say it, I should say it about Miami.
You're talking about the
Well,
one that has the black like vertical stripe
just
on the
all
edge.
of them.
It was
They
weird.
They're
I've
all
never
just
seen
like
that before.
boring.
retros, the
You're Miami.
sleeves.
Like, go for it.
The heat with the little
You know?
tail on the end. Yeah.
I do like the Miami Knights one though, with like the pink and the.
You like
the
the
orange?
pink
I
ones?
do.
Oh,
I do like it. I do like
No.
it.
Well, this will end it for the show.
No. End on an. Ugh.
All right. Well, you guys, thanks for listening. If you have an email or a question, if you don't have Twitter, I don't know who doesn't have Twitter these days, but you can email
Cool
us.
kids.
thecorner3show@gmail.com. And Ross, as always,
Twitter, Instagram.
He always
Facebook.
does
Facebook.
every single show.
I don't have Facebook.
We're
I
gonna
always
give you a
forget.
different job.
They have the snap face, the book
Oh,
chat
God.
thing.
At the Corner 3 Show.
Yes.
You can follow us.
iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play. Also, like and subscribe our videos and tell your friends about us.
Awesome. Thanks, and we'll have guests on soon, so take care.
Thank you.
Peace.